Hey everyone, hope you're doing well today. Pretty exciting news for today's video for anyone who's a fan of the Star Wars franchise, because we got the official reveal for Star Wars Squadrons. This is EA's latest Star Wars game, and it is a first-person piloting game. We'll be taking our starfighters across the galaxy, fighting in multiplayer, and even a single-player experience. Now, I want to talk about everything we know so far about Star Wars Squadrons. We got a bit of information from the video, the game's website, the pre-order page, and all of that, more than I actually expected us to know at this point. The major headline of this thing, and they're selling a couple sentences here. They say, master the art of starfighter combat in the authentic piloting experience Star Wars Squadrons. Buckle up and feel the adrenaline of first-person multiplayer space dogfights and learn what it means to be a pilot in the thrilling Star Wars single-player story. So yes, two components to this game, a multiplayer, which seems to be the primary focus. This is the thing they're really driving home, but there will be a single-player campaign as well, and I'll talk about why I think multiplayer is taking center stage here. The first main reason, though, is that they spend the most time talking about the multiplayer experience. So for multiplayer, they say take full control of starfighters, such as the X-Wing and TIE Fighter, and feel the adrenaline of strategic first-person 5 vs 5 multiplayer dogfights along your squadron, and the 5 vs 5 seems to be the main mode that they're pushing with this. This is really what that first trailer focused on. With this mode, there's going to be like this briefing room period where you and your squadron kind of plan what you're going to do, and then you'll be taking off onto what they're calling an evolving battlefield across the galaxy. Well, we'll get to go to some known and never before seen locations in the Star Wars universe. But besides this 5 vs 5 multiplayer dogfight mode, they also say you can unite with your squadron to tip the scales in monumental fleet battles. Now, there seem to be a lot of people looking for larger scale battles. When 5 vs 5 seemed to be the primary focus, they said, well, what about the big stuff? Like, are we going to get like 32 versus 32? I don't believe that's the case. Now, again, they mentioned these monumental fleet battles, but there were no numbers. There were no specific numbers with this, and it says unite with your squadron. Pretty sure the monumental fleet battles are going to be co-op versus AI. We are going to be getting gameplay again in a couple of days from now, so hopefully they explain this a little bit more, but it seems like for the actual multiplayer, like two teams fighting against each other, 5 vs 5 is where we're going to get that action. But then there's also single player. They say this is a unique single player Star Wars story which covers a key campaign near the conclusion of the Galactic Civil War. The New Republic fights for freedom, the Empire demands order. But let's talk a bit about some more specifics here. So for the starfighters themselves, they say you can take control of the different classes of starfighters from the New Republic and Imperial fleets, including the agile A-Wing and the devastating TIE Bomber. And there's going to be some customization, as they say you can modify your ship and divert power between the systems. They say that Squadrons is a fully self-contained experience from day one where you earn rewards through play. Apparently they're hinting at the idea here that everything you can get in this game you'll be able to earn by playing and not just microtransactions, which I'll touch on in a second. Climb the ranks and unlock new components like weapons, hulls, engines, shields, and cosmetic items in a clear path for progression that keeps gameplay fresh and engaging. So clearly, you're going to play the game, you're going to level up, and you're going to unlock these different parts for the starfighter, where you can customize things like, you know, are you going to be tankier? Are you going to deal more damage? Are you going to have better, like, anti-weapons and barriers on your ship? You know, just the kind of multiplayer ship customization that you would likely expect. And then finally, the launch date, Squadrons, will be coming out on October 2nd, and it's going to be priced at $39.99. Which you may have not been expecting. I would have assumed this was going to be a $60 game, but no, it's only going to be $40, and it's coming on the PS4, Xbox One, PC Origin, Steam, and the Epic Game Store. VR will be available for both the PS4 and PC. They also say the game is going to have cross-play support, and we are going to be getting some gameplay at the EA Play event that's happening on June 14th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. You know, they did show some first-person perspective, like, sort of gameplay, but the trailer today was predominantly cinematic. There wasn't any real, actual, honest-to-goodness gameplay. So I think a couple of points here with everything that we know at this point. I want to say there is single player, but I expect it to be a very short campaign. It seems to be a side point. And then I think also the pricing is what lends me to believe that we shouldn't expect much from the single player. I think if this was like a fully fleshed out single player experience with, like, I don't know, 15 to 20 hours of gameplay, that this would be a $60 game. But because it's priced at $40, I'm assuming the single player is kind of going to be a relatively short experience. And again, this is a predominantly focused multiplayer game with the 5 versus 5 competitive. That is really going to be the driving focus of this. And then we should also say, with the $40 price point and what looks to be a multiplayer focus, there will be microtransactions. There's pretty much no question about that. You'll be able to buy like skins for your starfighters, probably decals and stuff like that. So the big question is going to be, will you be able to purchase those components? You know, the in the customization section that we mentioned, leveling up in the ranks and unlocking weapons, hulls, engines, shields, and cosmetic items. Will you be able to purchase the non-cosmetic items like the hulls and the engines and the shields? Are they going to take another crack at the loot box, the surprise mechanics that EA is so notoriously known for at this point? We don't know, but I hope they don't drop the ball. You would like to imagine that they learned their lesson with Battlefront and they won't be doing that again, but who knows? And I kind of want to wrap up in saying this. I think overall, I'm pretty optimistic with this thing because I feel like EA's been doing a better job in the past couple of Star Wars releases. I know the sequel to Battlefront, the launch was horrible. That's really what brought about the whole surprise mechanic fiasco. The heavy push towards spending extra money on microtransactions and loot boxes in that game. It was a pretty big deal, you know what I mean? And I think they learned their lesson. And the game, from what I've heard, has gotten better. Like, by all accounts, Battlefront is in a really good spot right now. Like, people are really, really enjoying the most recent Battlefront game. So that's good. I mean, it seems like they've turned it around, even if it was a complete dumpster fire and disaster at launch. Hopefully they learned their lesson and they won't be too egregious with trying to monetize this game. And I also have to say, the last Star Wars game, Jedi Fallen Order, was really good. I really, really liked the game. I played it a bunch. It was one of the first single player games I've really been interested in a long time. And I've also been kind of on a Star Wars kick for like the past 1 or 2 years. I haven't been a huge Star Wars nerd my entire life. I don't know a lot of the details about the story and the franchise and stuff. I've just been having fun with Star Wars related things. I've been very interested lately. I guess Disney's doing a pretty damn good job at marketing because I've been pulled into the Star Wars universe pretty heavily this past couple of years, and I'm excited to geek out over another Star Wars experience. I'm definitely very interested in this. I'm gonna have to check this out. I hope it's good. I hope they're not too overboard with the microtransactions that we absolutely know are coming. Speaking of which, the pre-order page is already up. Not surprising. They want you to spend money as soon as possible. They've got some pre-order bonus content. There's a flight suit for both the New Republic Recruit and the Imperial Ace. I don't know how often you're going to be seeing your pilots, maybe in like cutscenes, like pre-match and post-match cutscenes where they get in and out of the starfighters or something. You'll get to see their outfits, but it is a first-person game by all accounts. I think that's another question too. I wonder if they're going to have the option to toggle behind your ship in like a third-person perspective. That'd be pretty cool, but they're pushing first-person, so it might just be first-person. The pre-order bonus is also going to give you access to skins for the New Republic and Imperial Ace starfighters, as well as decals, which we're assuming go on the ship or your pilot's suit or whatever. For the most part, the recommendation is almost always don't pre-order the game. Wait till we get some gameplay impressions. Wait till the reviews start coming out. Of course, people will ignore that advice, but by and large, generally speaking, you shouldn't pre-order games. You don't really need this shit. You know what I mean? So maybe hold on to your money. Anywho, yeah, that's what we know so far about Star Wars Squadrons. I'm pretty excited. I'm looking forward to jumping into a new Star Wars game. Hopefully EA doesn't botch this one. They don't have the greatest track record, but they have been making things up in the past 2 releases. Jedi Fallen Order, I think, was a great game, and from everything I've heard, Battlefront has gotten much, much better, and people really enjoy it in the state that it's at the moment. So there you go. Star Wars Squadrons, pretty cool looking game. We're going to see some more later this week. I'll probably make another video if there's a substantial amount of gameplay released, because otherwise I'd just be repeating myself here. So hopefully we get a lot from the EA Play event, and I'll be able to talk about it some more. But so there you go, Star Wars fans. Pretty cool. Good stuff, yeah? All right, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time. Take it easy. I should really put stuff in my hair, because otherwise it just keeps falling on my face. Or I could cut it, but I'm trying a new thing. All right?